Antiques Roadshow guest stunned by rare mining-era gems. Could they be worth even more? The Antiques Roadshow guest stood in stunned silence as appraiser Abe Lange delivered his valuation, $15,000 to $20,000 for a pair of jeans that had literally fallen from the ceiling of an old mining townhouse. But as the segment aired, denim historians and collectors began buzzing. Could these jeans, already deemed extraordinarily rare, hold even greater historical significance and value? The mystery of the Pacific Coast brand. Lange identified the jeans as a product of the Pacific Coast brand, a short-lived competitor to Levi's that emerged after the rivet patent expired in 1890. The Two Bears logo was a clear nod to Levi's iconic two-horse design, but little else is known about the company. Pacific Coast denim is practically a ghost in denim history, said textile historian Miriam Caldwell, who reviewed the episode. Levi's dominated the market, and most off-brand jeans from that era were worn to rags. For a pair to survive in wearable condition, with clear miner's wear like candle wax and patching, is astounding. Caldwell noted that the only other known pair of Pacific Coast jeans, discovered in a Nevada mine in 2020, sold privately for $28,000. The fact that these were found in Colorado, another major mining region, suggests they may have been part of a small batch made for Western laborers. If provenance can be traced to a specific mine or worker, the value could skyrocket. The crotch rivet. A dangerous innovation. One of the most intriguing details Lange pointed out was the crotch rivet, a now-defunct feature that was phased out after wearers realized sitting near a campfire could heat the metal to scalding temperatures. That rivet is a smoking gun for early 1890s production, explained vintage denim dealer Javier Ruiz. Levi's removed theirs by 1893 due to complaints, but smaller brands like Pacific Coast might have kept them longer. If these jeans date closer to 1890, they could be among the first post-patent riveted jeans ever made by a competitor. Ruiz speculated that if the jeans could be carbon-dated or linked to a specific mining operation, they might fetch over $30,000 at auction. Mining artifacts are highly collectible, and these jeans tell a visceral story: candle wax, repairs, hard labor. They're a time capsule. The ceiling cache. Why were they hidden? Lange's theory that the jeans were used as insulation aligns with historical practices. Old clothing, rags, even newspapers were stuffed into walls for warmth, said architectural historian Dan Morrow, but miners were notoriously superstitious. Some believed burying or hiding worn work clothes in a structure would bring luck or ward off cave-ins. If folklore played a role, the jeans might have been intentionally concealed, adding a layer of cultural significance. It's a long shot, but if local records or oral history mention rituals like this, the story could make them priceless to a museum, Morrow added. Levi's versus the underdogs. While Lange emphasized that Levi's would command a higher price, some collectors argue that rarity trumps brand recognition. Levi's from this era surface semi-regularly, said Ruiz. But Pacific Coast, we might never see another pair. For the right buyer, that's the holy grail. In 2022, a pair of 1880s Nevada jeans, a Levi's precursor, sold for $87,000, proving that obscure early denim can outpace even the biggest names. What's next for the ceiling jeans? The guest, who remained unnamed, has not disclosed whether he plans to sell, but experts urge caution. Get a second appraisal, Caldwell advised, and research the house's history. If these were a miner's spare pair, there might be more hidden treasures. Lange agreed, joking, maybe tear out the rest of the ceiling, just in case. Could there be more hidden treasures? The discovery of the Pacific Coast jeans has sparked a wave of curiosity among antique hunters and historians alike. If one pair of valuable denim was hidden in the ceiling, what else might be concealed within the walls of old mining townhomes? It wouldn't surprise me if there are more artifacts waiting to be found, said Lange. Miners and laborers often repurpose materials, and personal belongings were sometimes left behind or stored in unusual places. A call to homeowners and demolition crews. Following the episode, local historians in Colorado have urged homeowners, particularly those renovating 19th-century properties, to keep an eye out for hidden relics. Old trunks, letters, tools, even more clothing could be tucked away, said Caldwell. These items might not seem valuable at first glance, but to collectors and museums, they're irreplaceable. Ruse added, I've heard of people finding vintage denim in sealed-off mine shafts, barns, and even buried in backyards. The American West is full of undiscovered history.